You know that feeling. You open your feed and bam, just this tidal wave of AI news, new models, tools.
Oh yeah, every single week.
It's exciting, sure, but honestly, it's also really easy to just get swept away. Like, how do you even sort through it all? Figure out what actually matters versus, the noise.
Exactly. It's a lot.
Well, that's kind of our mission for this deep dive. We want to be your shortcut. We're going to try and cut through that recent noise just looking at the past week, June 21st to the 27th, 2025, and pull out the really important bits, the insights from all the sources you sent us. Think of it like distilling a wild week of AI down to what you actually need to know.
Right. And the goal isn't just listing things. It's about understanding why they matter, how these maybe seemingly separate advancements connect to bigger trends in AI.
Yeah, the context.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe most importantly, how this stuff might impact you. Whether you're coding, creating things, doing science, or just, curious about where this is all heading.
Okay, let's jump right in then, because one thing that definitely jumped out this week is how AI is really empowering creators and developers, like putting some serious tools right in their hands.
For sure.
And first up is Google's new Gemini CLI. So this is an open source AI agent. It basically puts Gemini 2.5 Pro right into your terminal.
Right there in the command line.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. Direct conversational AI help right where you're coding, debugging, managing projects. It sounds almost like having a, super smart coding buddy on call.
It really is aiming for that. The core idea is interacting with Gemini using just plain English for all sorts of developer tasks. The sources we saw mentioned, like generating code snippets, debugging those really annoying errors, even asking project management questions or writing documentation. It's meant to smooth out that daily grind.
And it's not just like talking into the void. You can actually customize it with a Gemini.md file, sort of like a FinFig file.
Yeah, exactly. You can tweak its personality, set up custom commands, define different personas, maybe for different types of coding. Make it really yours.
Okay.
Plus, it pulls in context from Google search in real time. That's pretty big for keeping up with, say, new library updates or best practices.
Right. And it's a free preview for now, with decent usage limits, it sounds like.
Yep. What's really interesting here is how it lowers the barrier to using the command line effectively. It makes it more accessible, more powerful. It's a step towards, I think, more conversational ways of doing really technical work. Streamlining things.
Okay, so that's making the command line friendlier for devs. But what if you could use that same idea in natural language to build whole applications, like without actually coding?
You're talking about the Anthropic Claude update.
Exactly. The artifacts feature upgrade. It sounds, almost too good to be true. How does that actually work? What can you really build with it?
Yeah, it's potentially a game changer. The big new thing is building full-fledged AI apps right there in the chat interface.
No coding. Seriously.
No coding.
Yeah.
Think about it, people with great ideas for AI tools, but maybe not the deep programming skills. This could really unleash a lot of creativity, like specialized tools or personalized experiences that just wouldn't get built otherwise. It's kind of like composing music without needing to master every single instrument first.
That really does sound like democratizing things. So what kinds of apps are we talking about? The sources mentioned games.
Games, yeah, educational tools, even data analyzers. And they've added a dashboard so you can manage the stuff you build and also see what other people in the community are creating and sharing.
Okay, that community aspect is interesting too.
It really transforms Claude into more of a platform, for rapid AI app development. It broadens the pool of who can create AI applications way beyond just experienced programmers. And the best part, it's rolled out across all Claude tiers, free and paid.
Wow, okay, so everyone using Claude gets this.
Everyone.
All right, from building apps with chat to voice interaction, let's talk about 11 Labs, 11.ai. It's an alpha, right?
Right. Still early days.
But the emphasis is on it being voice first, built on their pretty impressive 11v3 text-to-speech model.
Yeah, their voices are incredibly realistic. But the key difference here, the thing they're pushing, is that 11.ai doesn't just talk. It's designed to do things. It takes actions.
It
integrates with other tools using something they call the Model Context Protocol, MCP. You can think of it like a universal translator for apps. It lets 11.ai understand and interact with thousands of other applications, so it can actually do stuff inside those apps for you.
Okay, so it's not just fetching information. It's like, hey, update my CRM or draft this email.
Exactly. The examples given were things like managing tasks, doing research online, updating records in connected apps like CRMs. Real actions.
And it supports a ton of voices, over 5,000, including custom ones you can clone, plus a free proof of concept to try it out. So what does this signal, you think? Where are voice assistants heading?
Well, it feels like a significant step beyond just asking for the weather or playing music, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's moving towards active, integrated task management. Your voice assistant becomes more like a proper digital assistant that can actually navigate and operate within your digital ecosystem. It raises some interesting questions about how we'll interact with tech down the line.
Definitely. Okay, speaking of changing how we do things, let's shift gears to the creative side. AI in media production. This week, I saw some really cool stuff making high-quality video and visuals way more accessible.
Yeah, some big moves there.
First is HeyGen's AI video agent. This sounds like it automates the entire video production pipeline.
Pretty much.
Which, for a small team or a solo creator, wow, that could be huge. But does automating everything mean you lose the creative spark? Does it all end up looking a bit generic, or can you still make it your own?
That's always the question with automation, isn't it?
Right.
The sources say it handles, basically everything: planning, scripting, finding shots, editing. You upload your source material, and it spits out a professional-looking video fast. But they emphasize using their advanced Avatar 4 engine. The goal is expressive, lifelike avatars and a smooth experience. So whilst it automates heavily, the idea is you still have control to guide it, to tweak it, to maintain your specific style or brand voice. It removes the technical barrier, not necessarily the creative control. Useful for marketing, demos, social media.
Okay, so maybe less generic, more efficient starting point.
Potentially, yeah. Democratizing decent quality video.
Gotcha. Staying cinematic, there's also Higgsfield's new Soul feature. They're calling it an all-in-one AI tool for filmmakers. What's packed into this one?
All-in-one seems about right. It brings a lot together,
Yeah.
generating really realistic images, animating them, adding speech synthesis, even helping with sound design.
So you can go from idea to like a basic animated scene pretty quickly.
That's the idea. Produce cinematic AI content fast, all within one platform, streamlining that whole narrative creation process.
And it's got different style options, presets and things.
Yeah, a wide variety of stylistic presets, so it's flexible for different looks. People seem to be praising how easy it is to create quite lifelike, expressive digital characters just from text prompts or even uploading a photo.
Huh. I can see indie filmmakers loving that for storyboarding or even creating shorts.
Absolutely. It lowers the barrier for high-quality visual storytelling, for creating compelling characters. It speeds things up dramatically, potentially making ambitious projects feasible for people without massive studio resources.
Cool. Now, for the creators who really like to get their hands dirty with the tech itself, Black Forest Labs released Flux.1 Context Dev.
Ah, yes, the open source one.
Exactly. Open source, 12 billion parameters, and crucially, it's an image editing model that runs locally on your own machine. What's the significance of that open source and local?
It's huge, really. First, performance, they claim it matches or even beats some of the big proprietary models on tasks like keeping characters consistent across images, making specific local edits, or matching a style. That's impressive for open source. Second, running locally. That's a massive win for privacy. Your images, your prompts, they stay on your computer. You're not dependent on cloud servers or APIs. And you can tinker with it, customize it more deeply.
Right. No sending potentially sensitive stuff to the cloud.
Precisely. And it works with popular tools like Comfy UI and Hugging Face, comes with docs and APIs. It's available for non-commercial use right now.
So this really puts powerful, private, customizable image editing into the hands of individual creators, developers, researchers, fosters more community innovation, maybe.
That's the hope. It democratizes access to really advanced image editing tech. It's a great example of open source pushing the boundaries and giving users more control, more freedom. Big news for the AI art community.
Okay, powerful stuff. Let's pivot now.
Yeah.
From creativity to, well, fundamental science and everyday use. AI is making waves at both ends of the spectrum.
Really profound impacts potentially.
And first, something truly mind-bending. Google DeepMind's Alpha Genome.
Yes, this one's fascinating.
A next-gen AI focused on interpreting the, quote, dark matter of the human genome. The parts that don't code for proteins, but regulate everything. That's been a huge black box for biology.
It really has. And the scale Alpha Genome works at is just incredible. It can analyze DNA sequences up to 1 million base pairs long.
1 million?
Yeah. Think about reading and understanding a whole novel of genetic instructions, not just isolated sentences. It predicts how genes are turned on or off, the effects of those regulatory regions, and this is key, the impact of mutations within those non-coding regions, stuff we previously struggled to understand.
And the sources say it's better than previous models at this.
Significantly outperforms them, apparently.
So what does this unlock for, like, medicine and biology?
The potential impact is immense.
Yeah.
It could massively accelerate research into complex diseases. Think cancer, autoimmune disorders, neurodegenerative diseases. It could speed up drug discovery, deepen our fundamental understanding of biology. It's hard to overstate. And they've made it available for non-commercial research, so scientists can start using it right away. The big question now is, how quickly will this translate into real breakthroughs? New treatments, new preventative strategies. It's exciting, but also, lots to comprehend.
Yeah, truly fundamental science there. Okay, let's wrap up this week's deep dive with something maybe a bit more tangible in the near term. Google's Gemma 3N.
Right, the on-device model.
Exactly. Lightweight, multimodal AI, specifically optimized to run on your device. Your phone, maybe other gadgets.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And its efficiency is pretty remarkable. It's a 5 to 8 billion parameter model, which is quite large, but it can apparently run with as little as 2 gigabytes of RAM.
How does it manage that?
Seems like it does some clever shifting of processing onto the CPU, not just relying on specialized AI chips.
Yeah.
But the absolute killer feature, it works offline.
Offline. Okay, that changes things. Real-time speech recognition on your phone without hitting the cloud. Translation when you have no signal. Analyzing video privately.
Yes, yes, and yes. The value of AI that works offline, especially for privacy-sensitive stuff or just situations where you don't have connectivity, is huge.
Totally.
And Google's making it fully open for developers. It supports over 140 languages, and they've even launched a $150,000 challenge to encourage people to build cool things with it.
So this isn't just some theoretical thing. They're actively pushing it out there.
Absolutely. This feels like a real move to shift AI power away from just the big cloud servers and put it directly onto your personal devices, making AI truly ubiquitous, personal, private, and functional, even without the internet.
What a week, seriously. Looking back at everything we've talked about, a few themes really pop out, don't they?
Definitely.
There's this constant push to democratize AI tools, making powerful stuff accessible to more people, like with Claude Artifacts or HeyGen or Flux.1.
Right, lowering the barrier to entry.
Then you have this hyper-specialization for really complex problems like alpha genome, tackling the genome's dark matter, just incredible focus.
Tackling the grand challenges.
And finally, this drive to make AI personal and ubiquitous, running right on your own device, like Gemma 3N. Offline, private.
Yeah, those three trends really capture it: democratization, specialization, and personalization, or ubiquitization, maybe. And when you see all this happening in just 1 week, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
It implies that the way you work, the way you create, maybe even how you understand the world, it can all shift really fast, sooner than we think.
So the question for you listening is, what opportunities do these new tools open up for you? Maybe it's trying to build that app idea you had without needing to code first. Or maybe exploring what a truly helpful voice assistant could do. Or perhaps just following the science of genomics more closely. The possibilities are just exploding outwards. What might you do with it next?